Look into your cat's eyes right now. Go ahead, I'll wait. That color staring back at you, you've probably been told it reveals your cat's personality. Blue eyes mean gentle, green eyes mean bold, gold eyes mean loyal. You've seen the charts. Maybe you've even nodded along, looked at your own cat and thought, yeah, that fits. Here's the problem. Almost none of that is true. But the real story is stranger. And honestly, it's a lot more useful because your cat's eyes are telling you something, just not what the internet thinks. By the end of this video, you'll be able to spot one change in those eyes that most owners miss completely. A change that can be the very first sign that something is seriously wrong. So before you look away, let's decode what your cat's eyes are actually saying. Let's start with something almost nobody knows. Every single cat on Earth begins life with the exact same eye color, blue, that orange-eyed tabby, that green-eyed black cat, the Siamese, the tortoiseshell, the alley cat down the street. All of them born blue. Newborn kittens don't have any real pigment in their eyes yet. They can't even make it at first. So over the first few weeks of life, somewhere between 4 and 12 weeks of age, their true color slowly develops. It happens gradually, almost like an old photograph appearing in the dark. 1 week, the eyes are a milky baby blue. A few weeks later, a hint of gold or green starts bleeding through. And by the time the kitten is a few months old, the color it will carry for the rest of its life has locked into place. Which raises the obvious question. If they all start blue, where does all that color actually come from? Here's the first twist, and it's a good one. Blue eyes aren't actually blue. There is no blue pigment in a cat's eye. None. There's really only one pigment that matters, and it's called melanin. It's the same substance that colors a cat's fur and skin. And the simple rule is this. The more melanin a cat has packed into the iris, the darker and warmer the eyes become. A lot of it gives you deep amber, rich copper, glowing gold. A little less, and you get green. But when there's barely any melanin at all, something interesting happens. Light enters the iris, scatters around inside it, and bounces back to your eye as blue. It's the exact same trick that makes the sky look blue. There's no blue paint up there either. It's just light scattering. So a blue-eyed cat isn't really a cat with blue eyes. It's a cat with almost no pigment in its eyes, and physics doing the rest. Hold on to that fact, because it's about to explain one of the biggest myths in the entire cat world. And quickly, while we're talking about color, here's something that confuses a lot of owners. If your cat's eyes ever look almost solid black, don't panic. In low light, or when your cat is excited, or locked onto a toy in full hunting mode, the pupil opens up wide and swallows almost all of the color. Turn on a light, give it a moment, and the color floods right back in. That's completely normal. It's not the eye color changing. It's just the pupil doing its job. Okay, now back to that personality claim. Blue-eyed cats are sweet and calm. Green-eyed cats are adventurous. Gold-eyed cats are loyal little guardians. You've seen these ideas absolutely everywhere. So here's the honest truth. Scientists have actually gone looking for a link between eye color and personality. They've studied it, and they keep coming up empty. There is no reliable connection between the color of a cat's eyes and the way it behaves. It's basically a horoscope for cats. We just love telling stories about the animals we share our lives with. And a cat staring at you with big, mysterious eyes practically begs for a story. But stay with me here, because this is the interesting part. There's a tiny grain of truth buried underneath that myth, and it fooled people for generations. Remember how blue eyes mean very little pigment? In white cats with blue eyes, that same lack of pigment is connected to something else entirely, a much higher chance of being born deaf. Now think about what a deaf cat looks like to the person living with it. It doesn't come running when you call its name. It seems calm, distant, off in its own quiet world. And the owner looks at those beautiful blue eyes and thinks, what a gentle, mellow, easygoing personality. But it was never personality. It was a sensory difference riding along with the color. The cat wasn't calm. It simply couldn't hear you. The myth got the cause completely backwards. People saw the eyes, saw the behavior, and connected them in the wrong direction. So no, your cat's eye color will not tell you whether it's sweet or sassy or bold. But as you're about to see, it absolutely can tell you something far more important. Before we get to that, let's take a quick tour. Because some of these colors are written directly into a cat's DNA. Take the Siamese. That signature icy blue stare isn't an accident, and it isn't random. It comes from a temperature-sensitive gene that keeps pigment switched off in certain areas. It's the very same gene that gives the Siamese its dark ears, dark face, and dark paws, while the rest of the body stays pale. The Russian blue, famous for vivid green eyes, almost every single time, it's part of the breed's signature look. Most ordinary tabbies and mixed-breed cats land somewhere in the warm range. Yellow gold, a glint of amber in the sunlight. The deep coppers and burning oranges are rarer, and they tend to show up more often in darker coated cats and in big breeds like the Maine Coon. And then there are the true showstoppers. 2 completely different colored eyes on the same cat. One blue, one gold, staring back at you from the same face. It looks almost magical, but it's the same low pigment story we already talked about, just playing out in only one of the 2 eyes. It's a gorgeous range of color. But here's the thing you need to understand about that color once it's fully set. In a healthy adult cat, the eye color basically stays put for life. It locks in when they're young, and it stops there. So when it changes, that is your cat sending you a signal. And this, right here, is the part I promised you at the very beginning. Watch for these signs. An eye that turns cloudy, or red, or suddenly starts to look hazy and dull instead of clear and bright. A pupil that looks like the wrong shape, or that doesn't match the other eye, or an iris that's slowly shifting color over weeks, sometimes with a brown patch quietly spreading across it. Any of those can be signs of a condition called uveitis. That's inflammation inside the eye. And in cats, uveitis is not just a simple eye problem. It can be tied to serious illnesses working away inside the body, like feline leukemia, the feline immunodeficiency virus, and feline infectious peritonitis. The eye can be the first place those problems become visible. And here's one more to remember. If your cat's eyes start turning a strange coppery color you've genuinely never seen on them before, that can point to a problem with the liver. It's exactly the kind of slow change that's so easy to brush off as nothing. And it shouldn't be brushed off. Now, I'm not telling you any of this to frighten you. I'm telling you so you can be the kind of owner who catches these things early. Because with a cat, catching it early is everything. Cats are masters at hiding when they feel sick. Sometimes their eyes give them away before anything else does. So the rule is simple. If you ever notice a sudden change in your cat's eyes, the color, the clarity, the shape, anything that looks off, you don't guess. You don't search online and quietly hope it goes away. You see a vet. Fast! That is what your cat's eye color is really telling you. Not a personality, not a horoscope. A window into their health. So here's what I want you to do right now. Look at your cat one more time. What color are their eyes? Blue, green, gold, copper, or one of each? Drop it down in the comments. I read them, and I'm honestly curious how this channel's cats break down. And if this changed the way you look into those eyes, even a little, take a second to subscribe. Because there is so much more hiding in your cat that you've never noticed, and we're only getting started. Thanks for watching. Now go give your cat a slow, gentle blink. Trust me, they'll know exactly what it means.